Terrence Howard, where do I begin to laugh at your misconceived idea of what maths should be? Well, like all good stories, let's start at the beginning, or at least at the beginning of this video that I dug up on X. Before we start today, it seems like 60% of you guys watching aren't subscribed. So if you are not subscribed but you enjoy the content that I'm making, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to get notifications every time I post a video. With that out of the way, let's get back to today's content.
Because you know how I figured it out? What's 1 times 1?
1 times 1 is 1.
Absolutely correct. This interviewer has already shown that they know a lot more about mathematics than you ever would, Terrence. Because 1 times anything would be that thing itself.
To multiply means to do what? To make more, right?
Yes.
Increase a number?
Yes.
Multiply?
Yes.
How can 1 times 1 equaling 1 be part of the multiplication table?
The mathematical definition of multiply is to find the product of 2 numbers. Or, according to Merriam-Webster, it's a mathematical operation where 2 numbers multiplied with each other, you take a column of the one number and you repeat it the amount of times that the other number is, and you sum that column. So a column of 1 repeated 1 times, summing that would give us 1. And this is a simple proof of how 1 times 1 is 1.
It fails to satisfy the term multiply. It doesn't multiply.
It indeed does not fail to multiply. And what you want to perceive as multiplication in mathematics is not what multiply means.
Does it? What's an action times an action?
You got some weed.
No, I'm asking you. Honestly, I'm asking you. Reason. Reason. I want you to reason.
I full-heartedly agree with the interviewer here. Because Terrence, you must be on some pretty strong stuff to be coming up with these ideas.
I don't know.
What's an action times an action? A reaction. Right?
Okay.
Have you ever seen an action times an action without a reaction?
No. If we use mathematical operations, if both actions are identical, so we have action times an action, your answer would be an action squared. A reaction, however, is not formed by multiplying 2 actions. With Newton's third law, you only need 1 action in order to get a reaction. And in this case, the reaction has the same magnitude as the action, just in the opposite direction. So if we have to express this in mathematical terms, it would be a minus action. And if we then go back to you saying an action times an action is a reaction, we would have an action times an action is negative action. And bringing that back to the previous point, we would have 1 times 1 is equal to negative 1. But it's still not 2.
Action. Have you? No. Because equanimity is the currency of the universe. There's always an action times an action having a reaction.
So equanimity, which is to be calm and composed in difficult situations, is the currency of the universe. I would love for you to expand on this because it makes no sense. For the universe cannot experience psychological constructs because the universe in itself is not alive.
How can 1 times 1 equal 1? How can A times B just be A and not B?
Let's expand on this for 1 times 1. We can easily say that A times A would be A squared for any and all values of A. And then with A times B, for any real values of A and B, we would have the product of the 2 numbers. And for definition of a product, just go back to earlier in the video where I explained what multiplying is.
happened to conservation
Terrence,
of
these
energy.
are late night conversations.
These are
bro.
no. These
Yeah,
are.
they are.
This is the beginning of our understanding. It should fit.
These are not late night conversations. They might be the beginning of a manic episode, and you, Terrence, are way past the beginning.
What kind of calculator you got? What kind of phone you got?
The iPhone?
Okay, go to your calculator.
Whatever the new.
No, go to your
Okay.
calculator. Go to your calculator.
All right. Go to calculator.
Go to your calculator.
Yeah, I
you
got
do
you.
too. You got iPhone?
What are we doing?
So you want these people to use the calculator on their phones that use mathematical operations that you yourself are trying to refute. Explain this, please.
I want both of y'all to do two separate things. I want to do the same thing to start with. Turn it to the side.
Okay.
All right, now I want you to both hit the number 2. Did the whole calculator show up?
Hit number what?
Hit the number 2.
Number 2.
Go to the square root. It is the second column from the left, third row. It'll have that squiggly
Yeah.
thing.
All right. 1.4.
1.414213563373095.
Holy
now
crap.
I want
Congratulations. You memorized the answer of square root 2. People have done the same with pi, to a lot more decimals than that though. And yet, you don't see them claiming that pi isn't what pi should be. And on a side note, if 1 times 1 is 2, then the square root of 2 should be 1. Yet you failed to ever mention this.
095.
Holy
now
crap.
I want you two to do two separate things now. Two separate things. I want you to multiply it by 2, hit times 2, equal, don't you do it.
Okay.
And I want you to hit x to the third. X to the third, it's going to be... the
Times
third-
3?
No, x to the third.
Oh, X. Oh, okay. I see it. I see it.
X to the third.
Yeah, I got you. All right. 1.1.
No, you didn't hit x to the third.
Yes, I did.
If you hit x to the third...
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
So
I
go
did
back
that.
again.
Okay,
You
so
keep
now
yours where you are.
Yeah, I'm
2,
good.
2
square root,
square root.
and hit x to the third.
All right. 2.82.
2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190. The same value you got
Yeah.
by multiplying it by 2.
Yeah.
And he just cubed it. Divide it by 2 again. Both of y'all. Divide
Divide it by 2.
No, divide by 2. Hit equal. Now, cube it again. Hit x to the third.
Yeah.
You see that loop?
Using algebra, we can see that you would get the same value for any and all values of x. Whether you say the square root of x cubed or x times the square root of x, you would get the same value. This is not something that happens specifically with 2. And then going and dividing these numbers with the same value would continue to give you the same number. And then cubing it would just continue this whole pattern that you're trying to repeat here. It would be like saying, take 1 divided by 2, and you take 3 and divide it by 6. See, it's the same value. Now divide that by 2, and cube it, and divide it by 2. We just carry on to be the same value.
Yeah.
That's saying x cubed is equal to 2x, which is equal to x plus x. That's an unnatural equation. That's a mathematical fallacy. And that's the beginning of your math.
X cubed equal to x plus x, or 2x, is not unnatural. In fact, it actually has 3 solutions. Square root of 2, negative square root of 2, and 0. And none of these numbers are unnatural. 2 of them are irrational, but not unnatural. So please explain, how is this unnatural? And why is it a fallacy? You make all of these claims and yet say nothing to back them up.
That's how I invented tangential flight, because
This is where I'm going to leave you and all of your delusions. If you enjoy the video, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be live streaming on Sunday, where I'll be taking a look at Terrence's pathetic attempt at something that might resemble a scientific paper. If you enjoy the channel and want to support what I'm doing here, you can join. If you don't want to join or sign up for a subscription, there's a PayPal link in the description where you can donate to support this channel. I'm Heinrich, the real nuclear physicist, and I'll see you next time.